Talk about building a network of supportive relationships, the level of harmony and the power that comes out of that, people that you interact with on a regular basis, because a lot of people are facing from loneliness, anxiety, hopelessness, but in order to have harmony, and it's possible, in this space, you can't do this by yourself.
As you said it, the key word, and I've always wondered, what is that one ingredient for a successful life? What can we just get it down to one word? And I think right now, I believe the word is harmony. My understanding of harmony is to have a balance. Balance is where you have different parts, but coming together. And so what I just said is that there is no one answer to a successful life or a healthy life. Success and health comes when you have the right coalition, where you integrate. Let's just talk about how many changes we have going on. We have the spring season is now upon us. So we had winter, spring, summer, fall. We have day and we have night. We have mind and we have heart. We have faith and we have reason. We have different kinds of people. All of them come together and creating the right balance. So each one of us is important. Each one of us is important, but we're only there as long as there's somebody else there.
Yes.
So very, very important is to get connected.
Yes.
With your family, with your friends, with a group of people of your type, of your network. All of that together gives us a sense of togetherness and harmony.
Rabbi Yossi, it's so very important the point about harmony and building a network of collaborative, positive connections. But there's something else about relationships. And I've heard this said that relationships have seasons. Sometimes somebody comes in your life for a reason, some for a season, and some for a lifetime. And that part of being able to have peace, and I just finished listening to something that really got me. They ask a strategic question, who's in your room? That sometimes we have to make a decision that this relationship is no longer me. I've outgrown this relationship, because they're toxic relationships and negative relationships, that you will never have peace, that you will never have harmony. And there's some people who bring the best out of you and some people who bring the worst out of you. And part of that harmony is being able to look at the relationships and ask the strategic question, what is this relationship doing to me? There's a young lady, she has a song, and the title of it is, I Feel Lonely Whenever You Are Around. And a guy named Frankie Crocker, he was a disc jockey out of New York, he said, it's better to be alone than to wish you were. Talk about the value of looking at your relationships and asking the question, is this relationship working for me? Some relationships might be working for the other person, but it doesn't work for you because you're not going in the same direction. Sidney Poitier, the Academy Award winner, he said when you go for a walk with someone, he said, something happens without being spoken. He said either you adjust to their pace or they adjust to your pace. Whose pace have you adjusted to? Talk about the value of looking at and taking inventory of who's in your room, who you're surrounded with, who you're interacting with.
That's probably the most important, most challenging part of life is our relationships. And why is it there? Why do we need to have relationships? Well, once again, we're not meant to be alone. We are part of a bigger picture, and the picture is where we need to bring together parts like a symphony, like a good chocolate cake. All right, I'm in the mood of a chocolate cake right now.
You're looking at one.
Okay, so where's the cream? Yes. So what is a good chocolate cake made out of? Lots of ingredients. But the key to it all is the proportions, the amounts. Did you mix it well? And bringing it all together. That is what I think is life is about, bringing things together. I'm only one part of the ingredients.
Got you. But you know, Scott Frank, you and I'm looking at this in an expansive way. You're a corporate leader. You're a team leader. You have to bring people together. You have to evaluate them. And sometimes you can have a good person in the wrong place, and it won't work. And sometimes in our personal relationships, you have to say, no, you gotta go. Tell me, a difficult situation that you were in, and you had to say to this person, you had to make the decision, because we make decisions and now decisions make us, that you knew in order to have peace and harmony, that this person had to go. Give us an example of how you handled that.
So, I approach life from the perspective that nothing happens by accident. Everybody's here for a reason. Even a person that might have to go is here for a reason. And what I encourage everybody to think about when they're with somebody, even somebody that needs to go, is to remind themselves that they're a person. And they're on this planet for a purpose. They've got feelings. By the way, they've got a story. And when you get to know people and really truly understand them, the people that I've had to say, this isn't probably the best position for you, they've actually agreed. So I encourage everybody to connect at a level that's not you telling them, but it's coming together and everybody understanding, what, this is a right decision for everybody. And it's amazing when you actually get to know people. Again, they may not be the right person for that role, but they're the right person for something. And, every single thing that happens in our life happens for a reason. It can be a joyous experience. It can be an important lesson. And by the way, lessons can be joyous too, if you actually have the right perspective. But I will just tell you, every single conversation I have with somebody, every single person in my life, first thing, I want to have a peaceful relationship. Don't yell at them. If they say something mean, it doesn't mean I got to say something mean back. It's amazing when you set the tone with a peaceful relationship, how you can have these conversations where you begin to understand each other and see how each other plays roles in each other's lives. And just because they are not the right person for the job in your company doesn't mean that they're not a good person for another job, and as even more importantly, even to play a role in your life. And I will tell you, there's people who I've told this isn't the right job for you, who have agreed, and actually I've stayed connected to afterwards and kept up with them with their next job and their families and all the other things that are going on. Every single person who I come in contact with, that's the mindset I try to have. And it all starts with peace. Not everyone's gonna be my friend, but I'm not gonna fight with anybody. And it's amazing if you have peaceful relationships with everybody, you can then begin to build relationships with people and make music with them where you never would have expected.
Do you, as a leader, how much time do you spend looking at and talking with and investing the time to ask the question, is this a good fit? I did a training the other day, and one of the individuals said, I want you to be my one-on-one coach. And I said to the group, all money is not good money. And I knew he would drive me crazy. And I said, you know what? I know you got something, but I'm not the one. And I'm encouraging you to find someone that your values are similar, that y'all can work together. And I like what your intentions are. We want to do the work that we call the greater work to make the world a better place. But at this stage of my life, at 78, I think you're gonna cause me too much stress up in here, up in here. You're gonna have me saying, you about to make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. We're on two different pages because in the presentation, in the training, he was using a lot of profanity, and I teach young people that profanity is the strongest expression of a weak mind. But this new area where we are, a lot of people make profanity their new normal. And so I had to say, no, you and I can't do life together. I don't know how much time I got left, but I'm not gonna do it with you. See, you wouldn't want to be here. And we both laugh, and he said, man, I appreciate your being straight up with me. And there are some times, if you want to have harmony in your life, you have to let go or be dragged. You got to let them go, or they will drag you down. Even in your personal life, if you don't have peace and harmony in your household, it's going to affect your performance in every area of your life. Would you agree with that?
I know what you're saying, and I agree. You need to have peace in all aspects of your life. I think the thing that most people don't think about is the harmony part. So you can, you don't have to have a certain person in your life so you can have more peace, or if they're in your life, don't fight with them. But the thing that I just encourage people to consider is making music with everybody in your life. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the part where most people don't take the time. Mm-hmm. They simply are too busy, or they think they got the personality that rubs them wrong, or whatever it is. They can't do the job. I just encourage people to take the time. And one of the tricks that I've learned over the last decade or so is a concept called listen from not knowing. And it's taught by Alan Collins, who wrote the book Do You Quantum Think, and teach those concepts. It's amazing to me, so many times we think we know somebody. Mm-hmm. It could be a family member, it could be someone you work with, and you think, like, this person says the same thing over and over again. They do the same thing. I keep asking them to do the job, and they're not doing it. They're not listening. Treat that person like you've never met them before.
Yes.
You know that experience with somebody when you first meet them? Like when you first meet someone, like everybody's good. Like you actually are kind of interested and excited. Like treat them like you've never talked to them before and have a conversation, and you will be amazed how, if you truly are like really intent on having a new conversation with this person, you will learn things, you will connect at a different level, and you actually will make some music in that conversation. And I'll tell you something, people who work for me, most people who work for me have worked for me for a very long time. And for a variety of reasons. Who knows exactly why? But I will tell you, one of the things that I take pride in myself is I treat everybody on my team like they're going to be successful. And I actually, you asked earlier, when you've told people they need to go. When I've told people they need to go, actually, I get to a place where they know they need to go, and it's not. I've never had to say to someone, bye-bye. You're not the right fit here. They've always known it. But the bigger point is I actually try to get to know people at a level where I can grow them. And I'll tell you something, I coach a lot of youth sports when my kids were younger. And in youth sports are a great opportunity to try this out, because in youth sports, you can't fire the kids.
Yes.
You get your team. But guess what? There's a last pick on your team, and that boy or girl is not going to be as good as your first pick. But guess what? The secret to championships is actually working with your last picks. And really, it's amazing to me over a season how you can develop children. And we won a lot of championships, but even more importantly, we had a lot of children who probably would have given up on the sport, but came back the next season because they had a great experience and their families had a great experience. And it's amazing to watch them blossom. And that's what I try to take to the work world. And I just encourage everybody to actually think, if someone's not doing the job, don't think about firing them. Actually, see if you can connect with them at a different level. See if you can understand them, and see if you can make music with them. And you'll be amazed about the potential and the greatness within everybody on this planet.
Something you said is key, that in order to have harmony in a relationship, you have to have a maintenance strategy. And at the top of the list of that strategy is what you said. You got to put in the time. But there's something else that's key, and I want to ask you about this, Rabbi Yossi. I took my daughter Samaya out to the park, and she was going up the steps of a sliding board. And as she got up to the top, she said, "Daddy." And I said, "What is it, baby?" She asked me, "Where are you?" I said, "I'm right here with you." She said, oh. And then she went down the slide. And what she knew, that my mind had gone someplace else, she observed that. So part of having maintenance in a relationship, not only must you put in the time to maintain that level of peace, but you have to be present with the people that you are interacting with. Talk to us about presence, because I've seen the difference in Yahuda when we talk and he spent time with you and he came back and there was a countenance that was different, his energy, the smile on his face. Talk about being present with our loved ones. I got to give you this other example that just dropped on me. This family, this couple had been married a long time, and she was going past her husband and she stopped him and she said, "Where is he?" He said, "What are you talking about? Where is he?" He said, "Have you lost your mind? Where is this guy who said, 'I will love you till death do us part'? Where is this guy that I first met, that was so considerate, that we used to date and we spent time together, that we used to hold hands, and when we were in a restaurant, we talked to each other and we weren't on the phone. We didn't put, when we had dinner, our telephones on the table and take calls. What happened to him?" And he said, "He died, but I'm going to bring him to life because you asked that question." Yes, you brought me to life. He said, I'm going to bring him back because sometimes we can drift apart because of life. Be life and talk to about being present in our relationships to maintain that level of harmony.
Wow. I think of the word stop. We got to have that set of brakes. You got to know it's time to stop. Stop what you're doing and pay attention to what is happening now, especially if another human being is talking to you. So we're all on the constant go, 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 faster and faster and faster. But I would put up the stop sign before we even talk about peace. Before the word peace, I would say stop. Stop everything. What are you talking about? Stop. Stop the chatter. Stop the conversation. Stop the story. Stop everything. Oh, stop. And so that sometimes takes discipline. When was the last time you used your brakes? When was the last time you said no? See, that's a way how to use your brakes. You say no to yourself. When was the last time you said no to yourself? It's easy to say no to other people. So we're not using our brakes to learn, to practice the stop and go motion. So that allows you to stop, focus deeply, because if you're not focusing, you're shallow. You're skimming the top, checking it out, reading the email real quick, next, real quick. And we're all very shallow. We're becoming shallow. Did you hear what I said? I think I heard what you said. And we heard something. But that stop, which takes strength, inner strength.
Yes.
And focus. I had a friend who once gave me good advice. He's an attorney, and he said, this is the best advice he's ever received, is that when a client is sitting with you in your office, he's sitting on the chair, you're sitting on the chair, he's the most important thing in your world right now. nothing else matters. There's that total 100% attention that we so thirst, desire to have. So, Les, we're all looking for that ingredients of a good life and a better life. And what are the disciplines? Focusing when somebody else is speaking. Stop your own chatter. Stop your thought process. Lots of our prayers that we do, we close our eyes. And not only does it say close your eyes, but it says put your right hand over your eyes. So you're not going to peek. You're not going to like keep one eye open, one eye closed, because you're going to put your hand over your eye to make sure your eyes are closed. Instead of looking outwards, you're going to turn your eyeballs and look inwards and stop with the outside distraction. Our popular prayer of Hear, O Israel, the Lord is our God, the Lord is one. We typically say it with our eyes closed and our hand over our eyes. And I think that is a form of focus.
Jim Rohn asked this question. Look at the people in your life and ask the question, what is this relationship doing to me? See, in order for you to go to the next level, there are some people you need to let go. Let us say together, let go or be dragged. There are some people, because of their negativity, they're emotional vampires. They will drain you. You want to be around people that you can learn from, that you can grow from. Dr. Dennis Kimbrough out of Atlanta said, if you're the smartest one in your group, you need to get a new group. Les, can I change them? No. It's a full-time job changing yourself. There's some people that's comfortable being negative, comfortable being a volunteer victim. There's some people that's so negative they can walk into a dark room and begin to develop. Oh, behave. My medication wearing off now. You're talking about earning more money. You got to be serious. One sickness can wipe out a fortune. 95% of the people who filed bankruptcy last year did so because of medical expenses. People say money won't make you happy, but everybody want to find out for themselves. A friend of mine, Rita Davenport, said money ain't important, but it's right up there with oxygen. And let me tell you something, fellas, even if you're as homeless as I am, you got some money, women will find something cute on you. Oh, he's got earlobes like Tom Cruise. He's got a walk like Denzel Washington. I used to be so broke, I'd walk past a bank and trip the alarm. Creditors would call the house and my children would answer the phone and say, my daddy say he ain't home. And sometimes they would catch me on the phone. May I speak to Les Brown, please? Sorry, but he's not here. You sound like Les Brown. Don't you go there, big boy. Oh, my God. Red Fox said money can't buy you happiness, but it can make a big down payment. Oh. This thing called life. Here's something else. Write this down. You're going to fail your way to success. There are people who look promising. They're going to disappoint you, hurt your feelings. There are people who should be there to encourage you, to motivate you. They're going to be the #1 members of the discouragement club. Before things get better for you, they're going to get real bad. When you have a dream, think it not strange that you'll face the fiery furnaces of this world. You will, not you might, you will have tribulations. How many of you know that's true? Raise your hands, please. Things are going to happen to you. And don't complain. Don't go around telling everybody. 80% don't care. 20% glad it's you. Suck it up and keep on prospecting and make it happen. Life is happening to everybody. Everybody, let us say together, leap and grow your wings on the way down. See, in order to control your destiny, you've got to be a risk taker. You got to be willing to risk people talking about you. You got to be willing to risk someone saying no. You got to be willing to fail again and again and again. You're different. You're an entrepreneur. You're strange. You're not like everybody else. We live in a world where we're told more about our limitations rather than our potential, and so most people just can't see themselves doing better. But you're different. You see some things they can't see. And I encourage you, every one of you in this room right now, you're here for a reason. How many of you know people who should be here? Raise your hands, please. Yes. But you know what? They're in their rightful place. Their rightful place is where their thoughts have brought them. Their true place is where their thoughts can take them. Everybody is in their rightful place. Mr. Washington said, Mr. Brown, transform your mindset. Number 2, he said, practice. Let us say together, OQP. Write this down. Only quality people. Only quality people. You don't want everybody in your organization. You want only quality people. Here's something else he said. Mr. Brown, yes, sir. And this is what we're going to do in this presentation. It's called presentation power. He said, develop your communication skills, how you present yourself, how you sell yourself. He said, once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are. And then he said something else. Let us say together with conviction. I want everybody to join me on this. Let us say together, you got to be hungry. Say it again, you got to be hungry. He said, what do you want to do with your life, young man? I said, sir, I want to buy my mother a home. He said, you got to be hungry. I said, what do you mean by that? He said, people that are hungry are willing to do the things today others won't do in order to have the things tomorrow others won't have. He said, people that are hungry are relentless. People that are hungry are unstoppable. People that are hungry refuse to give up. People that are hungry, no excuse is acceptable for not making their dream become a reality. I said, I'm hungry, sir. I'm hungry to take care of my mother. I'm hungry to make her proud. I told my mother that she'll never have to pay another bill once I turn 18. And she hasn't, Mr. Washington. I'm hungry, sir, for another life. I'm not going to die here in Liberty City. I want to travel, sir. I want to see the world. He said, you can do that, sir. He said, practice OQP, only quality people. If you run around with 9 broke people, he said, I guarantee you, you'll become number 10. He said, work on your mindset. Listen to these audio programs I'm giving you every day. Lynn Turner, Dare to Be Great, every day. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale, Jim Rohn, every day. Zig Ziglar, program your mind, Mr. Brown. He said, how do you plan to buy your mother a home? I said, sir, I want to become a disc jockey. He said, is that right? I said, yes, sir. He said, good. He said, work on your mind. Here are my car keys. What do you want me to do with this? At lunchtime, go in my car, turn on the radio, and listen to Paul Harvey. Why? He's the world's greatest communicator. You want to be successful? Yes, sir. He says, listen and study people that are great communicators. That's the key to controlling your future. I said, but that's at lunchtime. In order to be successful, you got to be hungry. You got to be willing to do the things today others won't do. Are you willing to do that to be successful? To buy your mother home? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And that's what you have done. You've got some goals that you want to achieve. There's some things that you want to do. And you've said to yourself, I'm willing to face the no's. You've said to yourself, I'm willing for people to laugh at me. You've said to yourself, I'm willing to gut this out. You said to yourself, I'm willing to make this happen. You said to yourself, I'm going to do whatever it takes to build this business. I can do it. If anybody's ever done it at any point in time in history, then what's possible for one, it's possible for me, and I'm going to do it. That's what you said to yourself. He said, listen to Paul Harvey every day. So you want to be a disc jockey? Yes, sir. He said, I want you to create your format. What will your personality be? What style are you going to have? I said, wait a minute, sir. I want to be a disc jockey, but I don't have a job yet. And then he said something. He said, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have an opportunity and not be prepared. He said, you got to expect to become successful. Let us say together, I expect to win. I expect to increase my recruitment. I expect to be a great presenter. I expect to become a millionaire. It's my time. It's possible. It's necessary. It's me. It's hard. It's worth it. Nietzsche said, if you know the why for living, you can endure almost anyhow. Your homework assignment is write down 5 reasons that will make it worth it for you. So when the tough times come, and they're going to come, when you feel like you can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, and that's a part of the process, your reasons will be your rod and staff to comfort you, to take you through the storms of life. He told me, you want to be a disc jockey, practice on your communication skills. Visualize yourself talking to thousands of people, Mr. Brown. See yourself on stage presenting. Be willing to invest in yourself. Warren Buffett was being interviewed by a financial analyst on CNN. He said, what's the most important investment a person can make today? Warren Buffett, a billionaire, has billions of dollars in the stock market, billions of dollars in real estate. He looked at the reporter and said, the most important investment you can make is in yourself. The reason you're here, the reason you invested your money, your time and energy in transportation and the room and all the costs in a so-called tough economy, because you have the mindset of a billionaire. You know, investing in yourself, you are your most treasured asset. Give yourselves a round of applause. Come on, bring energy level up. Make it important to know what drives you and what's most important now. There are things that used to be important to me, they're no longer important. And that's why I've been doing Operation Clean Slate, getting a lot of stuff and a lot of people out of my life. I remember when I read the book, Who's the Matter with Me? I wrote down the names of the family members and friends that I communicated with most. And I asked myself the question, is this relevant? This relationship, is it productive? Is it positive? Is this relationship, does it bring the best out of me? This relationship, this energy, does it challenge me? Hold me accountable to a higher standard? People rub off on you. Academy Award winner Sidney Poitier said, when you go for a walk with someone, something happens without being spoken. He said, either you adjust to their pace or they adjust to your pace. Whose pace have you adjusted to? I want you to write this down. OQP, going forward, only quality people. I do not allow myself to be in the company of people that I know more than them. Why? If you're the smartest one in the group, you need to get a new group. No. Jim Rohn said something. He said, your life is either a warning or an example. A warning of what not to do or an example of what to do. And part of what I'm saying to my children, hey, be careful about who you're around with. I remember Mama saying, Leslie, if you run around with 9 broke people, she said, I guarantee you become number 10. And so as you look at growing your practice, as you look at making a greater impact in your community, as you look at the things that you want to do, and being involved in legacy building and making the rest of your life the best of your life, we have to constantly monitor and be mindful of who's around us and what relationships that we have. People say, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Not just that, it's who you know and what they know about you. Do you have the kind of reputation in the industry that people will see you as a go-to person? God said to Abraham, you know, I make your name great. Didn't say I'll make you a great man. I make your name great. The reason that when Fab calls me, he's a good man. He calls me, I don't call everybody back. But when he calls me, because of how I see him and because of my relationship with him, because of his vision, because of his integrity, because of the stand that he's taken with his life. People say, practice what you preach. No, preach what you practice. And what I know about him, I'm going to answer his call. I'm going to follow up. And that's the kind of relationships going forward in and out of the pandemic that we have to continue to look for and to develop. Some of the relationships that we need to spend less time with. There's some people, if we never saw them again, it would be too soon. Yes, what I read that you earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends, I got all my broke friends out of my life. I used to be so broke, I walked past the bank and tripped the alarm. And so this is the time you have to look at who's around me, who's the matter with you.